Well, the world has definitely changed in the last 24 hours. I've been telling people for years on my channel that when you deal with a failing money system, usually historically what follows is war. War, famine, government collapsing. That it's all throughout history ad nauseum, going all the way back to the Roman Empire, actually the Greek Empire. So this is not something new. What we've been seeing here is the collapse of the monetary system. And I'm here to tell you today, this is not stopping. There are people out there today who are telling you that inflation is getting better. Everything is fine. Inflation is improving. There is no inflation, in fact, even. That is a bunch of nonsense. The inflation is still going on. They're trying to hide it the way they've always hid it, and that is through shrinkflation. Let me show you what I mean. This came out just this week. So in my kitchen, I have a number of washcloths and drying towels and things like that I use on a regular basis, daily basis. But there are times where I like to use paper towels. And so I have a subscription to Amazon for paper towels. And I don't get it very often, but I do get it because there are times where I use paper towels. I like that convenience. And so I get my paper towel delivery. It's usually like a bundle of them that come in. And I have a little paper towel dispenser in my kitchen that conveniently these things fit into, and then you can just roll them off and you open there's like a little cabinet, you open it up and there's the little dispenser and I pull it out and works fantastic. Has been for years, been working great. Well, the other day I got the new set of rolls. And, I was about due for some. And so they came in and I took one out and I put it on the dispenser and it just fell down. I'm like, what in the world? What's going on here? I looked at it. I'm like, what? And I looked at the old roll that I had here and I realized that the old roll was quite a bit smaller. Let me show you what I mean. Yes, quite a bit smaller. Let me show you how much room you got in there. Look at that. Look how much they shrank the roll. Ladies and gentlemen, that is called shrinkflation, and it's a word that is used to disguise inflation. Do you not see what is happening right before your eyes and what's been going on for all this time? And you guys have seen it, but you may not have voiced your concern or recognized it for what it was. But you go to the store and you buy that box of Cheerios, which is genetically modified. You shouldn't be buying that anyway. And you realize that this time it's a little bit smaller. Or you buy that box of this or package of that, and it's a little bit smaller than you got before. It's been going on for years, ladies and gentlemen. This is called inflation. And the reason why they do it this way, the companies, they're not gouging you, okay? They have costs. They have manufacturing costs. They have healthcare costs for their employees. And all of those things keep going up. They have infrastructure costs, overhead costs. If you're a business owner, you know these things. And these things never go down. They always go up. Case in point again, my phone. This is a Note 10. Okay, it came out like over 5 years ago. I'm not using any sort of a new phone. I thought, well, maybe I'll get the Samsung Note 23 or whatever it is up to now. But it's like, I really don't want the AI on there, and I've tried to get rid of all the AI I can on this thing. But the fact is, this is over 5 years old. And just this last week, I got my AT&T bill. And when it went up this month by $12, none of the phones, there's only 3 phones on our plan, are new. They're all over 5 years old. And it went up $12 this month, $12. That's absolutely crazy. Why? Every month it's been going up like $1, 50 cents here and there, every month. But last month it shot up $12. I know you guys are feeling the same pain. I know you guys are seeing the same thing. That's inflation. And again, these companies are having to pay higher infrastructure costs, higher healthcare costs for their employees, overhead, all of these things. And that's inflation, and they're passing it down to you. Okay? Gasoline prices have gone down, but I saw some studies this last week talking about how some of these new dispensers at your gas pump are actually creating more of a froth inside of the gas tank when they pump the gas in, when they dispense the gas. And so it sets it off quicker. And so you have to actually take the time to, add more to it. You're actually thinking it's actually giving you less gas because of the froth. I don't know, I forgot how it works, but I saw a demonstration on it. And not only that, but they're cutting the gas now with lower quality ethanols. You're not getting the gas you thought you were. Everything is being cut. Everything is being shrunk. This is inflation. And as I've said before on this channel many times, as history has unfolded, when this happens, war usually comes next. Now, I don't know what's going on with Israel. I don't know what's going on with the United States and Iran and all this stuff. I don't know all the backroom deals. And the reality is, none of you do either. So don't armchair quarterback this thing like you've got the inside scoop on what's really happening and there's a giant conspiracy on this or on that. The reality is none of us are in those rooms. None of us know what's going on. All we can do is watch the show and then speculate about what it is we're watching. That's all we can do. Okay. However, we can use history as a guide on what has happened before and what is happening now. And that's where I want to leave you with all of this today. Where we have a clear indication that our money system is completely and totally screwed. It's so screwed. We are $37 trillion in debt, and Doge comes in and says, hey, we're going to cut all these billions out of the deficit. And they sort of do that, but then they add a whole bunch more money. Spending actually increased, and the debt ceiling was eliminated. If this bill passes, it hasn't yet, at least at the point of this recording. Eliminate the debt ceiling, increase spending. At the end of the day, you've just spent more money. You printed more money into existence. You've propagated this problem even further. That's all you've done. You've just made my paper towels even smaller, probably 3 months from now. That's all you've done. I don't think Trump has a real economic bone in his body. He might be great at making business deals. He may be great at negotiating. But when it comes to actual inflation and what causes it, he doesn't understand that spending and printing money is what causes it, has always caused it. History is your guide, and he won't stop doing it. He won't stop. And he can't stop. I've said that before on my channel too. They will never stop printing. They will never stop spending. The result being war. War, war, war. Because that's what's always happened. You don't have to be a genius to figure this out. All you got to do is read a history book. War. War is coming. War is here. And you have to determine whether or not you're going to send your sons and daughters, to be G.I. Joe. Now, I'm a veteran. I'm an infantry veteran. And there's no way I would sign my kids up for this woke, untrained military. This military is not trained to go in and destroy and break things like they were back when I was in and people who were in before me. They're just not trained. Okay, there's that. All that. Let me give you 2 reasons why this is not going to fix itself real quickly. This is a 1964 silver quarter, okay? This was the last year our country made silver as part of its legal tender currency, okay? As required by our U.S. Constitution, by the way. And they took it out. Why did they take it out? There's really 2 reasons, in my opinion. Really 2 reasons in 1964 why they took this out. Number one, this is a direct competitor to the fiat paper money that's not worth anything because they know history also. The smart ones do. And they realize that if they keep actual money in circulation as currency, it will drive out. Okay, it will be saved, and then the old stuff won't be used. You will lose confidence in your monetary system like has been done throughout history. So they got rid of it. The second reason why they got rid of this, by 1964, the military-industrial complex was getting really, really advanced. And they knew that they needed silver in order to make smart munitions. There were amazingly technically advanced smart munitions, especially in the Navy coming out at this point. And they heavily relied on silver. And the military-industrial complex needed that silver to be price manipulated in order to continue to use it for munitions. The military-industrial complex desperately wants the price of silver to remain low so they can buy it. Do you know how many ounces of silver are in one Tomahawk cruise missile? At least 500 ounces. Now, for years, they thought that was speculation. They didn't know that for sure. It was leaked, but no, that's been confirmed now. There's over 500 ounces of silver in one missile. Now, that's just Tomahawk cruise missiles. That's not counting ATACMS and HIMARS and all of these things that when they're flying through space at Mach 1.5, they have to make split-second decisions on targeting information. That requires silver for the circuitry in order to make that happen reliably. So do you understand now why the military-industrial complex has to have this stuff maintain its affordability on the open market? If you had the buying power, the historical buying power for 2,000 years reflected in silver today, 1 ounce of silver would be worth over $1,200 an ounce. $1,200. That's the historical buying power in today's monetary system, where it is today, where our inflation is and everything like that. At least $1,200 for 1 ounce of silver. And the military-industrial complex wouldn't be able to buy it, wouldn't be able to get it, not without going into extreme amounts of debt, which we already are in. We were already in debt in 1964. And so they were like, let's take the money out, let's manipulate the market, the COMEX, and keep silver affordable so that we can use it for the military-industrial complex and all the munitions that we're making. They will never stop printing money. They will never stop spending money. And you will never see silver as long as the COMEX is still around at its historical buying power price. You won't see it because they're manipulating it. And the reason why this is important, you guys who are homesteaders, is because you guys can prepare. And I've said before on the channel, it's about being productive, producing something, printing your own money, going out to the garden and growing plants. That's printing your own money. You can hedge against this. You can buy things like silver too to do that, but you can hedge against this. Take advantage, because the hill we're going down right now, there's no stopping that trade. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. What do you think? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Hey, you guys might have noticed. Real quick, you guys might have noticed that I don't put ads in the middle of my videos because I hate it when other YouTube creators interrupt my train of thought as I'm thinking about the content that I'm consuming by putting in some stupid ad in the middle of the video. I don't do that. So I uncheck that box because YouTube allows me to check that box, even though sometimes I go back to videos that are older and I see that they have checked the box for me because they want to put ads in the middle of my videos. I try to make sure that there are no ads in my videos when they come out especially. I don't ever add those in the middle of the videos. So at the end of my videos, I talk about some of the things that I offer, the benefits that I give my patrons and some of my audience. Right now, you can go become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and you can get access to the Perfect Pickler guidebook of how the Perfect Pickler works and all of the recipes that are in there. There's over a dozen recipes in this book. And if you just join for as little as $1 a month for the patron level, just the entry level for patron, you get that for free, a download for free. It's downloadable on the patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead link down below. You get that just for $1 a month, as well as this book. And last time I checked on Amazon, this was like $400 or $500 on Amazon. The other book that comes with it was also like $400 or $500. This stuff is full of color photos. It gives you all of the information for all the plants that are growing right in your backyard that you can use as medicine. This is my medicine cabinet. In fact, I did a video on Patreon the other day talking about plantain and what that is amazingly used for. If you were interested, go over to patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead and learn about plantain and how amazing it is for certain things. And so all that information is in this book, and you get it for as little as $1 a month. Something you would spend hundreds of dollars over at Amazon, you get that for being a patron for as little as... If you join at higher levels, I really appreciate you, and there's other things coming. I got the... Where's that other... I don't have it out here right now. Maybe I do. I'm getting ready to send my patrons Clyde's garden planner. I thought I had it over here. It's over on the other side of the room. Some of the upper level patrons are getting some of that sent in the mail soon. And the $20 Crockett level patrons last month got smoked salt in the mail. And so we'll be sending out some more stuff. But even as $1 a month, you get all this stuff for free. Okay. Over at patreon.com, go to the collections tab. You can find this book, download both of them, and get them printed so you have hard copies of this stuff, because everything is digital today. Everything can be manipulated, and you don't want that to happen to your stuff, especially something as important as medicine cabinets. I see all these creators out there, and they're like, oh, buy this antibiotic or buy that antibiotic, and you can have this medical kit and that medical kit. I'm like, just make it yourself. All those things you can make. I don't need antibiotics. I can make my own. Right there. $1 a month gets you access to that. All right. What do you think? I'm interested to hear your thoughts about the inflation and all the stuff that's going on right now. We're watching the show. Who knows what's going to happen? I'm kind of a little bit worried about Russia getting involved. I'm kind of worried about false flag events to try to lure America into this involvement. I do not want my kids going over to that sandbox or any sandbox. I think we've had enough war, and we need to be working on things at home. Listen, I'm all about a country who wants to defend itself. If two countries want to go at it, go at it. I think Israel has done a fantastic job in years past on defending itself and taking care of business. They don't need us to do that. So I don't want to send my kids over there. I got plenty of things to worry about here at home. But at the same time, it's like, hey, if two countries want to go, let them go at it. We'll stay here and watch the show and eat popcorn. So leave your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this nonsense and what's happening. But check out the download books that I've offered over. All the links are down below. All right. Love you guys. See you next time at the Homestead. Bye. Have you ever gone to a health food store and seen all those small bottles of probiotics in your cooler section? Man, can they be pricey. Are you really getting all you need to improve your gut health from those expensive bottles? How viable are they? Most of those products claim to give you between 8 and 15 strains of gut-healthy healing bacteria. Think of each strain of bacteria as a different factory in your gut. Each factory is responsible for breaking down that food in its own way. The more factories you have, the more the food is broken down and the easier the food is absorbed and digested by the body. A 2018 study published by the National Library of Medicine shows that one fermented head of cabbage can produce up to 114 strains of beneficial bacteria. That's a lot more food factories than you're getting from that expensive pill bottle. And that's just cabbage. Imagine the probiotics when you add garlic, onions, pepper, and more to that ferment. PerfectPickler.com and its home fermentation kits provide you with everything you need to get started making your own gut-healthy food factories from the comfort of your own kitchen. PerfectPickler.com even provides a jam-packed recipe book with many of our kits. Visit PerfectPickler.com and start fermenting your own veggies to begin your journey to better gut health. That's PerfectPickler.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of An American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.